bold will not count. When in this particular case, if I am the umpire, there was no chance for me to maybe to call. Many times it happens. Here the umpire was being a little foolish and adamant that मैंने डेड बॉल कॉल नहीं किया तो अब कुछ नहीं कर सकते. एक एक चीज वो है, मैंने डेड बॉल कॉल नहीं किया तो मतलब बोल्ड भी आउट है. ठीक है, दैट इज वन थिंग. लॉ में देयर वाज नो प्रोविजन टू करेक्ट एन अंपायर्स मिस्टेक. नाउ हियर इट वाज एन अंपायर्स मिस्टेक, or the withdrawal can be absolutely last specific uh, fraction of a second, where I have as bowler and umpire no chance to call dead ball. मेरे को चांस ही नहीं था. There was no chance at all to call dead ball. The law now says even if I call dead ball later on, the dead ball will be effective from the time the batter backed off, and therefore there my recording will stop. Bold B will not be recorded. Has no meaning. As if it has not happened. It will be erased from the recording because the ball was there previously. That is the significance of this law. Now it allows the umpire who has failed to call dead ball to call it dead later on. In this particular situation, if I failed, uh, I didn't have the time to call dead ball. I'm telling you from experience. Sometimes there is no time for you to call dead ball. The ball has gone and hit the wicket. At the last split second, this fellow insect came into his ear and this fellow चौका और इसने पीछे हट गया. आपको रीजन तो पता नहीं लगेगा, तो आपको डेड बॉल कॉल करना ही है. अब डेड बॉल यू हैव टू कॉल डेड बॉल. दैट मीन्स व्हाट अबाउट बोल्ड? Because of this provision, that dead ball will become effective from the time of the incident, that bold will not count. That bold will not count because it is then erased from the tape. When the ball has become dead previously, after that तो सवाल ही नहीं है कुछ count करने का. So that is why the lawmakers have changed this law. This is one incident which had come to the notice of the. This had been referred to the MCC, and they gave an opinion at that time. The response of the MCC is also here, I believe. Uh, yes, they say that this is an interesting question. Technically, if the umpire does not call dead ball, the ball remains in play. However, the laws do not cater for umpiring error. Okay, till that time. This happened somewhere in 2021. They were in the process of making changes. This law is actually due to change in the coming months to remedy this exact issue. But for now, an umpire can say that the batter is out. When that incident happened, there was no such thing of previously ye karna. When this incident happened, uh, the umpire's stand was that I could not call dead ball out bowled. Okay, but now no longer. And another thing, if you read the law, after having called dead ball, the umpire will uh, go into the reason. He will ask the reason, भाई क्या हो गया? Why were you not ready? If you are satisfied about the reason, if you remember this, if you are satisfied about the reason of the batter, you will give him one extra ball. But if you are not satisfied about the reason, you will count that ball as a valid ball. Do you understand? Giving him out is never the option. It is not in your hands to give him out bold. Get it? ये लॉ को आपके लॉ बुक में एक साथ में दिया हुआ है, तो मैंने जरा दो टुकड़ों में लिखा है for better understanding. Otherwise, in your law book, it is given as one. So people get confused. Remember that the law says you have to call dead ball if these two conditions are there. Finished. Because you practically it is not possible to go into the reason. Now, after going into the reason, after having called dead ball, you ask him. Unless a bird has flown in, there is no need to ask. Everybody knows. The world knows. Or there's a big noise from behind you and this fellow backed off because of that. All right. Everybody knows that. and or if there is a very low aeroplane which flew and जोर से a fighter aeroplane has flown over the ground and he has backed off. Everybody knows the reason. No reason to ask also. But if it's not clear, you will ask him the reason. After asking the reason, there are two possibilities. Are you satisfied with the reason? If you are satisfied, you will give him an extra ball. If you are not satisfied, you will not give him that extra ball. You will not give him that extra ball. That is why, if you let us go back to law 17 for a minute. कहाँ गया भाई? Where is that thing gone? All of over. Law 17, the over. Even there it is stated whether the ball will count as a valid ball or not depends on. Why am I not able to find it? Where is that particular provision? Anyway, I'll find that provision. There also there it is given that this won't be considered as a valid ball. This won't be. Oh, it is there now. Sorry, it is right in front of me, and I'm scrolling over it and not able to see it. Under 20.4.25, the striker is not ready to take strikes. It will not be considered as a valid ball, but it will depend on the reason for it. It will depend on the reason for whether it is the batter is uh, his reason for it. Otherwise, it will count as a valid ball. All right. This is the what the law says. I'll tell you the specific law where it tells you. Uh, why is it that I can't find it? Anyway, I'll leave it at that. Right now, I'm not able to locate it. I'll find it out, and I'll start with that in the next session. This is one of the reasons that the lawmakers made a change in this particular law. That now the umpire can correct his mistake, or there was no time. There are many instances, I'll tell you many instances where the umpire earlier used to, there was no time for him to call dead ball. So the stand taken by the umpire was that I did not call dead ball, therefore whatever happened till that time, the ball will actually count. Now no longer it will, that is so. Now no longer that is so. You will, this will change many things that as we will discuss in our next session. Many things will change. Our thinking about various things will change. I can promise you that in our next session we will complete law 20, and you will see that because of these provisions, uh, the dead ball becoming effective from behind, and there is also law 20.6. Because of these three provisions, the dead ball law radically changes things and our view of certain things. Okay. So with that, we will end unless there is some question from anybody on the dead ball law. If there is anything, please let me know.
Uh, yes, sir.
Yes.
सर, जैसा आपने बताया कि हमने बॉलर्स एंड अंपायर से पूछना है कि क्या वो बॉल कंसीडर करते हैं कि डेड हुई है नहीं हुई है। तो इन केस कीपर ने काफी टाइम लिया उसको स्टंप करना या रन आउट करने में,
हाँ
और और इन दैट केस आई आस्क्ड द बॉलर्स एंड अंपायर कि भाई आपके हिसाब से कि क्या लगता है आपको बॉल डेड हुआ या नहीं हुआ,
हाँ।
और वो कहते हैं ठीक है भाई बॉल डेड नहीं हुआ है।
बॉल डेड नहीं
तो
हुआ तो आपको डिसीजन देना है।
अगर कीपर ने काफी टाइम लिया है, होल्ड किया है रस्सी किस अपने मतलब आउट करने के लिए, देन आल्सो वी कैन गिव आउट सर।
देन ऑल्सो
हम उसको आउट दे सकते हैं इन दैट केस आल्सो।
सी, देखो क्या है, सी वी आर टू एक्सपीरियंस अंपायर, our opinion in this case will not differ. Something that is very clear, it will not differ. You can at that time also say, not out, that ball is dead. But then again, that would still be wrong. It is the opinion of the bowlers and umpire to treat it as dead. So check with your colleague. It is not your opinion that counts. You're at square leg, आपका opinion वो count ही नहीं होता है. Bowlers end का opinion count होता है. 90, you will 99 times out of 100, your opinions will match. But when in the rare case, it all depends on that man, your colleague. You will check with him. Do you consider the ball in play? Yes, you are bound to give him out. आपका opinion count नहीं होता है. That is the point I am trying to make.
करेक्ट।
But practically speaking, this occasion will arise very, very rarely because two experienced umpires who are umpiring, their opinions in this case, when the ball is to be treated as dead, will not differ between experienced umpires, though it can. It can. So therefore, because it can, the law says इस चीज में बॉलर्स एंड अंपायर का ही ओपिनियन काउंट होगा. इस चीज में कंसिडर्ड डेड बॉलर्स एंड ओपिनियन अंपायर का ही ओपिनियन काउंट होगा. So if you are at square leg, the incident takes place as your end, and you have some doubts about this. Check with your colleague. But if you have no doubts, when it is very clear that the ball has not settled and all that, out. But where there is some doubt in your mind, always check with your colleague and then proceed. If he says, according to me, the ball was dead, or like I told you, I am at the bowler's end, I say, according to me, that ball is dead. खत्म हो गया. आपको डिसीजन ही देने की कोई जरूरत नहीं. इफ द टू अंपायर्स वर्क टुगेदर प्रॉपरली, अकॉर्डिंग टू मी दैट बॉल इज डेड. एक इंसिडेंट हो गया, ईशांत शर्मा ने गेंद में फील किया, अकॉर्डिंग टू मी दैट बॉल वॉज डेड. वहां से जड़ से आपने काट दिया मामले को. लेकिन अगर मैं कुछ नहीं बोलता हूं तो फिर यू आर फ्री टू चेक विद मी. एंड इफ आई से नो द बॉल वॉज इन प्ले, देन यू हैव नो ऑप्शन. Either you give the decision or take the third umpire's help to give the decision. Right?
राइट सर।
Okay. But remember that it is the jurisdiction purely of the bowler umpire for deciding whether the ball is considered dead or the ball is finally settled. Normally there will be
राइट
no
सर।
difference of opinion and you will give him out. बात खत्म. लेकिन जहां ये ambiguous situation है, आपका काम है मुझसे पूछना बॉल आपके हिसाब से डेड है कि नहीं है. भाई भाई डेड है, खत्म हो गई बात. There is no decision for you to give. But if I say yes, according to me that ball is in play, then you have no option but to give the decision. No option. Whatever may be your view, it doesn't count. Okay?
यस सर।
That is how the law is and that is how it is to be applied. We are, unfortunately, you saw that we were all clear that the ball in both Ishan cases, ball was dead. At that time, the bowlers and umpire should come up with the statement. According to me, that ball was dead. I would. According to me, that ball was dead. तो आपको डिसीजन देने की जरूरत ही नहीं है ना. दोनों दोनों केसेस में बोल सकते हैं ना.
यस सर।
और वो तीसरे केस में भी बॉलर एंड अंपायर कॉल दे सकता था, अकॉर्डिंग टू मी द बॉल इज डेड, and that announcement would be in line with this law. This this uh, this call of mine would be in line with in accordance with this particular law, that when the ball has become dead under 20.1, the bowlers and umpire may call and signal dead ball if it is necessary to inform the players. So I'm informing the players and my colleagues that according to me the ball is dead. आगे झमेला मत करो. It is in order. The bowlers and umpire can do that. Yes, and I think this is something that umpires must practice. In the rare case,
Sir,
yes,
sir,
tell me.
that after Johnny Westro incident, Simon Toffel gave one statement, sir. You might have read
Yes,
in the
yes,
newspaper,
yes,
sir,
yes, yes. He said he was
that
right. No,
he
the decision was right. He said. I read that. I remember reading that.
इस मेरा ये कहना था सर उसमें कि लाइक वो ये कहते हैं कि दोनों टीमों को माना दोनों टीम जब मान जाए कि बॉल डेड हो गई है इन दैट
नहीं,
केस आप
नहीं, नहीं, नहीं,
हम
नहीं, 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 नहीं. देखो, ये वहाँ बॉल कंसिडर डेड वाला जो है वो मामला इसमें अलाउ नहीं होता है. इसमें एप्लीकेबल नहीं होता है. वो एप्लीकेबल होता है when the ball comes to some other fielder. Here it is a matter of ball being finally settled. और अच्छा, अगर बॉल कंसिडर्ड डेड का मामला अगर आपको लेना है तो वेरी क्लियरली द फील्डिंग साइड डज नॉट कंसिडर द बॉल इज डेड, because he immediately threw it. His immediate throwing intended that one thing, it is एक तो it is not finally settled. Second, that they wanted an outcome. That is why he threw it. He wanted a run out. So again, there is no scope for the umpire to decide that the ball is considered dead. जो आपने जो बोला ना कि दोनों साइड्स अगर, हियर क्लियरली फील्डिंग साइड, डैनी जॉनी बेयरस्टो ने बोला समझा बॉल डेड है, उसने बोला उसको कोई इरादा नहीं था. बट व्हाट अबाउट फील्डिंग साइड? द अंपायर हैज टू टेक इनटू कंसिडरेशन बोथ साइड्स एक्शंस. बट फील्डिंग साइड throwing the ball clearly shows that they don't consider the ball as dead. They don't consider the ball as dead. Because as far as I remember, uh, he said that in that case, Johnny Bairstow should have stayed back in the crease. He should not have been hasty in leaving. That ball wasn't dead. It was not finally settled. I don't remember if he said consider dead, because consider dead का तो सवाल ही नहीं आता ना. That is also ruled out because of the action. Now here consider dead में ऐसा है that when it is clear to the bowlers and umpire that the fielding side and both batters at the wicket have ceased to regard it as in play. So the bowling side very clearly, fielding side very clearly doesn't consider it dead. He threw the ball immediately. So consider dead is ruled out. अब खाली सवाल ये है कि finally settled or not, because it was not settled. That there was that momentary delay and all wasn't there. That is why. All right. So we'll continue this discussion in our next meeting on Tuesday, and it will be interesting. All right. Any more questions if you have? Yes.
नो सर नॉट नाउ सर
Okay. तो मैं recording बंद कर दूं. Hassan, you have something to say? कबीर?